All right, we are ready for our stream. Let me get the camera turned on. And guess we'll get some audio for the game. Let's see how that's loud enough or not. All right, we're back for another Elmcreek run. I appreciate anybody and everybody who is watching either live or on the VOD after the fact. Both are, like I said, very appreciative. Let's grab our little mower. I think the last thing we ended on was that I forgot to mow this little tiny field right as I was ending the stream. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started. I'm actually going to go ahead and get my worker to work on that for me because I kind of want to just take a minute to figure out what else we're doing while this thing's happening. So we'll get this rolling and then I'll poke around and see what else we got going on. Hey Stormy, how's it going? Glad you could join. All right, so there's our worker going. So we have these fields. Obviously, we're mowing them now. They're on their kind of higher level of growth rather than the first level. Presumably, that's going to be more grass overall. So we're gonna kind of run that out and see what that looks like. We already joined these two fields together. Haven't cut off the bit of this field that I normally would like to cut off. I usually cut off a straight line here, but usually kind of wait until I can get this field as well, so we can join these two together as well. Just make one big long rectangular field, and we'll get to that at some point. Hey, number one dad, how's it going? Thanks for joining. So we'll definitely get some windrowing done on these because I want to get these fields cleaned up and kind of get this replanted, kind of get back on the same cycle here. So that's definitely something we're gonna be doing here momentarily. I wish we had another tractor just so I can kind of get more than one thing going at the same time. Might still be a little bit early for that, but it would be a nice addition to the fleet here, if you will. I mean, two tractors is twice as fast, right? I mean, we could definitely afford a little dinky tractor, right? We could grab one of these. Some of the ones over here on the end are usually the ones I like. Yeah, I like one of these little John Deere's, New Hollands, and we're not far off from being able to get something like that, but not yet. We'll wait. We'll be patient. But I have a feeling we'll be getting a second tractor at some point. Actually, the tractor we have right now, is that what category is that under? I actually don't even know. That is a category of a small tractor. Where was that in the list? I mean, even this Fiat right here would be an acceptable tractor. I don't even see that in the list. Why am I blind? I am blind. There it is. This Volvo. Okay, that's the Volvo that we have. It's actually more expensive than the John Deere. So if we had a choice, I think I'd just grab a John Deere or something like that. Just get us another tiny little tractor to zip around, get some stuff done. At some point, we'll want a bigger tractor, though, and I think that's probably what we're waiting for, is just to wait for a medium-sized tractor instead. Because at some point, I think we're going to want a little bit beefier tractor for some other things that we've got going on. We've got a little Zetter here for 40K, 49K. But yeah, I think if we keep this one for a bit longer and just get us a medium to fill in some of those gaps, I think we'll be happy with that. So we'll just let this guy run for a minute and kind of go from there. Like I said, I think we're probably just going to get the windrowing done, get some baling done, and make sure this field down here is just kind of fully set, ready to go. We could probably wait another cycle on the windrowing for these fields, but I mean, it's not going to hurt. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to kind of going back and forth on that, whether I want to go ahead and do it now or just do that one field and then move on from there. All right, almost done here. Surprising how little used equipment there is in this list. Like, I don't have any mods or anything like that controlling the used equipment list. So this is just the base game just decided we only get one option, which is kind of weird, but I guess that happens. I just have the mods that are giants. If giants made the mod, then that's what I have. The only other mods that I have that are different from giants are the where I can sleep anywhere. I have the sleep anywhere mod, and then something else. I can't remember exactly which. Oh, I have a mod that makes my workers free. So because I'm limited to 2 workers. So I have a free worker mod. I think that's it. Other than that, if you go search for giants, those are the mods I have installed for this. I guess I can go ahead and just do a little path around the outside here. Just might as well. We've done it the last couple times. Might as well get the last little bit of grass around the edges here. It's not much, but it adds up. For all I know, it might be a full bale or two. That's good enough. Good enough. All-wheel steering. I actually don't like all-wheel steering, personally. I'm not a huge all-wheel steering fan. If I ever have all-wheel steering on a tractor, I turn it off. I literally go to one single front-wheel steering. Tried any lizard? I have not tried any lizard mods. I probably wouldn't, honestly. I try to limit the number of mods I have. That's why typically, unless it's like a gameplay mod, I usually just try to limit myself to only Giants mods. Because I got to draw a line somewhere. There's literally thousands of mods. I've got to draw a line somewhere. And the easiest line for me to draw is, if it was made by the people that make the game, it's probably a pretty good mod. And so that's where I draw the line. Alright, let's get the wind rowing rolling. Wind rolling. I didn't mean to do that twice. I guess it's wind rowing rolling. So it's not the same word twice. Never mind. Where did it? It's over here, isn't it? There it is. We'll get that going and figure out what we're going to do from there. Yeah, there's a couple other all-wheel steering tractors that literally I cannot stand. They drive me up the wall. Personally. That's just my personal taste. Now, for mounted work, you're right. It is probably really good for stuff that's mounted to the back, like that mower. It'd be good for that, 100%. I can see that. But yeah, pull behind stuff, sometimes it can be a little just annoying. Oh, actually, the tractors that I really hate, and maybe it's not the all-wheel drive ones specifically, but there are some tractors that are, which I don't think they're all-wheel drive. I think they're just different. I hate the Caterpillar type tractors. The ones that bend in the middle. Oh, I cannot stand those. I cannot stand those. Those are the worst tractors to try to drive. Like, you can't, like this pull behind right here, just can't ever get it straightened up. Like, it just never works. Oh, I hate them so much. As I'm talking, I can't even get this one straightened up, apparently. Oh, yeah. Lizard, well, Lizard is I mean, back in, what, FS17 and stuff like that, I think a lot of the Giants mods were labeled. There was a lot of Lizard ones that were made by Giants that were just labeled as Lizard. Lizard's like the in-game generic vendor, I think. Yeah, it's just a placeholder name. Yep, exactly. So obviously I've had Lizard equipment, but never specifically gone for a Lizard mods. And again, I'm sure there's plenty of mods designed by people of any types that are perfectly good, but I can't just download 1,000 mods. I gotta have some line. Yeah, yeah, they probably work well with the steering wheel. Unfortunately, I do not work well with the steering wheel. So that's my prop with the steering wheel side of things. I have one literally sitting 2 feet behind me. And I paid pretty good money for it. And I tried it out for about 15 minutes and I was like, nope, that's never going to happen again. So I have not touched it since. I mean, I'll probably use it for like racing games and stuff because I actually do like steering wheels for racing games. But you don't have to go back and forth in racing games. You only have to go forwards. And steering wheels for racing games makes perfect sense. Steering wheels in this game, oof, I mean, more power to you if you like it and that's what you do, but it is not something that I mean, it was great for driving on the road. Again, because all I have to do driving on the road was go straight. And it was way better than the controller driving stuff on the road, on the highway in this game. But trying to do like these back and forth passes and line things up and things like that, oh, I could not stand it. It was driving me up the wall. So unfortunately, you will never see me play a steering wheel in this game again. Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. It becomes a wiggly worm. Exactly. That is 100% what the problem is. It is just, oh, that's perfectly well said. Wiggly worm. That is the feeling I get when I do it. I guess I could have just gone all the way across to the other field as well, but oh well. Not a big deal. Yeah, the steering wheel will give you more gradual, well, steering, quite frankly. And so therefore the articulation is not, it's not going to reset like what you're saying. Ooh, our first sign we got to knock down. There we go. We haven't knocked down a sign this entire game, I don't think. You guys know how much I hate signs. Not really, but I seem to knock them down a lot. Ever since 2007, when I almost got killed by a sign. It's a true story, by the way. I actually did almost get killed by a sign. It was scary. Oh, I need to get the lime. That's what I've been... That's right. I knew there's something... I was like, there's something else I'm trying to save my money for. Besides that other field is the lime. Bale autoloader. That's what I'm feels for with the Colossus harvesting pack. Failing cotton at 95 kilometers. That's a little crazy. 95 kilometers per hour. Not exactly sure what that means, but that's pretty fast. Alright, we'll get this other field done. We'll get this all built up. I think we'll leave the first two fields just for another cycle, and then we'll go from there. Because that'll be fine. I just wanted to get this field done so we can kind of get it all joined together and get it all on the same cycle. If I can back up again. Normally I'm okay with backing up. For some reason today I'm not. Suppose I could go ahead and cut off the end here once I get this done. Just to have that part taken care of. Cannot believe it's already December in real life. It's pretty crazy. This tractor's worked pretty good for us. I mean, it's not the most amazing tractor by any stretch, but it has definitely gotten the job done. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty fast. All right, so what is the game plan? I mean, like I said, I want to buy this field next to us kind of as my next purchase. It's kind of a throwaway purchase to some degree because primarily what we get from that is just a place to put buildings. But as soon as we get this field, we can join everything up, make a big rectangular field, use the extra space for a greenhouse. And I think the greenhouse would be kind of our next just thing to set and forget. Just set a greenhouse off to the side and just let it do its thing, auto sell the strawberries out of it and not even think about it anymore. Obviously, we got to fill it with water from time to time, but that's not too hard to do. Although I suppose if we buy the greenhouse initially, we would probably need to make sure we had enough money to buy a water container as well. So I think that's probably about $100,000 combined, because I think this field is what, 60 something. The greenhouse is 20, and then the water thing's like, I think it's only like 10,000 bucks. So 100,000 bucks is what we're looking for to get kind of the next set of things. And then after that, it's probably saving up for our first foray into non-grass type crops, which would be just something that does flour. Go ahead and get the flour mill rolling. Things of that nature. Sooner we can get off grass, the happier I personally will be. I mean, you got to do grass at some point. I am not a fan of doing grass all the time. But it just makes the most money. You have a free code to unlock it with a model. I might have... Oh, I'm sorry. I did not read your first statement. Do you have the Porsche Junior Tractor DLC? I do not. I just didn't buy anything that didn't come with the season pass. I just didn't bother buying. I was like, look, I've already paid enough for the season pass. So that's why I don't have the pumps and hoses pack either. I'm like, yeah, I mean... Well, actually, the biggest reason I don't have the pumps and hoses pack is because it wasn't actually made by Giants. They just kind of published it, basically. Which, I'm sure it's a perfectly good mod, but for one, I wasn't really that interested in it. And, if it had been made by Giants, I probably would have actually gotten it, to be perfectly honest. Alright, let's grab our baler. At some point, we'll sell this trailer right here, because it did not turn out that is... honestly, all that amazing. I'm not super happy with that trailer. We need some repairs and some fuel relatively soon. I mean, that trailer's better than what we had from a speed standpoint, but it's just not as big as I was hoping it would be. Should get a decent number of bales off this. Oh, I could probably reset. I'm going to reset it, but we'll just have to remember that we got one extra. Whatever we end up with, plus one. Save me $2, yeah. Yeah, $2 for that. I mean, truth be told, I would never use it. I like some of those old tractors. I kind of like the way they look, but realistically, I mean, there's no reason I would ever use it in a save. It's just not practical. They're cool looking, not practical. I mean, it's up to you. But yeah, that's the email. That's my YouTube email. Hey, what's up, Reese? How's it going? Will this year's worth of silage be enough to get us where we want? Maybe. Hope these people don't mind that I'm leaving bales on their fields. Oh, that's kind of cool, actually. Set it off to the side as just primarily a decoration and an easy swap too. That's actually kind of smart. Oh, I'm glad that you're enjoying the series, Reese. Hopefully you enjoy the game. When you said you're going to get it for Christmas, that's going to be good. It's definitely a fun game if you like any sort of kind of building progression type game. Definitely has a value there. I guess at some point we'll probably want to have a couple greenhouses of strawberries just to kind of keep it flowing pretty nicely. I mean, obviously you get more money if you sell your produce yourself and just like drop it off yourself. But especially strawberries, it is not the easiest thing to transport like a year's worth of strawberries, because a year's worth of strawberries is a lot of strawberries, especially when you're running like a couple greenhouses. I think you guys saw in the original Elmcreek run, it lags the game so much. It might be because of the auto load mod. That might be the only reason it's lagging the game. But my goodness, does it lag the game a lot. I know I don't have access to that land. Someday, though. We probably will get that land at some point. Yeah, that's what I do. Set them to sell. You get way less money, but it's just at least I can forget about it. At the end of the day, as long as you're getting more money than the cost of the water and the production cycle, or if you're going to go to the creek and get it yourself, the free water and the production cycle, then the strawberries are still worth it, even if you're selling them for a discounted price. I feel like the single mowing of this field is noticeable, because when we did double mowings or triple mowings, whatever we did last time for the smaller fields, we were getting way more grass per kind of pass here. That's right. We're just doing this for this first cycle just to kind of get back on a, get everything joined up, get everything taken care of with these fields, and we'll be happy. And we're only going to get like 12 bales off this field. That is not a lot. I mean, they are 150 centimeter bales, so a little bit larger, but still. Oh, +1. That's right. So 13 delta bales. Hey, Northwoods Farmer, how's it going? Oh, hey, what? I didn't see you as well. How's it going? For those who don't know, I am double streaming on Twitch and YouTube. So if I talk to somebody, it's probably, and you don't see their chat, it's because they're on the other chats. Oh, I gotta drop that on our field before I get in the street here. I mean, at some point, if the Twitch stuff really starts taking off a bit more, I might figure out a way to integrate the chats in some form or fashion. Although I think, actually, that's the one thing that is against the terms of service for Twitch. So actually, maybe I won't do that. Because I think Twitch is okay. They changed it a couple weeks ago that it's okay for you to double stream. But they do not want you to have chat joined together. At least not visibly for the end user. Now, I think I could probably have the chat joined together for my own personal viewing. So it's easier for me to see when people talk. But I would not be able to join them together and post them on the video itself like some people do. That is very clearly against the terms of service for Twitch. People do it, don't get me wrong. You will see streamers do it, but it is against the terms of service. They made that very clear shortly after they announced the ability to dual stream or triple stream or whatever number of streams you want to do. Quadruple stream if you're doing TikTok, I guess. Started the same game style plays in the series, but started on an Elmcreek 4X by Stevie. Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm assuming that's just a larger Elmcreek. I haven't actually seen that one. I'm assuming it's probably in the name, 4 times larger Elmcreek. That's pretty cool. Kind of an interesting idea. I mean, to be fair, I've barely even explored hardly any of Elmcreek, so I don't know if 4 times larger is something I would need. I've barely left the few fields in the middle of this, but, you know, it does sound like a pretty cool idea. I'll have to at least check it out, because I like Elmcreek as a whole, so I'll definitely check out look that up and look at it, because it does sound interesting. Oh, thanks, Stormy. Very kind of you. I have a Discord server created. I do not have it set up. Like, I haven't decided to make it like public yet. I might at some point. Obviously, as the community grows a little bit more, the idea of getting the Discord server kind of actually rolling is more appealing. But, you know, initially, you know, people make comments on YouTube and stuff like that, but it's sometimes few and far between. So it just kind of like didn't feel like there was a lot of value. But I definitely might consider getting it rolling now that people are actually starting to participate. It's more active, and it's just good. But yeah, it technically exists. Yeah, but I might look at that here in the next week or so. See if I can see if there's anything else I need to set up with it to make sure there's no like obviously I want to make sure there's no ability for people to troll or anything like that in that type of server setup. Make sure there's some level of moderation, which is I don't know, one of those things. Basically, mace map in the middle with some larger fields around the map. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. You just have more options for other fields on the outsides. That's pretty cool. Truth be told, a Discord server would be a really good idea because there have been many times where I've wanted to communicate with either individuals or channel members, people who have become channel members, and I have no way of contacting them, right? I remember one time somebody became a channel member at the highest tier, which my highest tier is, I believe, it's you get to pick a game that I play. And I couldn't figure out how to actually ask him what game he wanted me to play. Finally, I think I tracked him down in like a comment and replied to a comment that he replied to. But I was just like, oh man, I have this tier and I have no problem. Like I'll play, whatever, within reason, whatever game you want me to play, especially since you're paid the money for it. But I'm like, I don't know how to talk to you. So yeah, I definitely need to get the Discord server up and running for at least that purpose, if nothing else. But honestly, just the community kind of growing and talking to people and stuff would be fun. And seeing kind of what the difference, get the different communities together, honestly. Because obviously I play many different types of games. I'm not going to put like a channel for every single possible game that I play. But there might be a channel for like the Civilization folks and the Farming Simulator folks and things like that. Just the kind of the different more kind of, or maybe just the strategy people and the Farming Simulator people and then maybe the management, like things like that. Just to kind of get more communication from the people who watch the different aspects of my channel and kind of see where it goes from there. I think that'd be fun. I think that'll be good. I will get that up. Honestly, my goal right now for myself, I'm setting it right now. You guys are my witness. I'm going to try to get the Discord server set up and ready to roll by the beginning of next year. So I'll give myself to the end of December. I don't think it'll take me that long, but just in case something comes up, I'm going to give myself until the end of the year to kind of get that rolling, and I'll make an announcement, probably video on YouTube. We'll figure out where that goes. I think it's a good idea. Obviously, I use Discord all the time for my own personal gaming communities that I'm a part of. I mean, I'm in Quill18's Discord server, if you guys are familiar with him. I think I've mentioned before, he's the reason I'm a YouTuber. I watched him one time and decided that I liked what he was doing and I wanted to do it. So, not that I do it as well as he does, but I'm just saying I wanted to try to repeat it. It is a simulation and management game. You are correct. I meant more like sports management, which Football Manager and F1 Manager would kind of fall into that category. To be fair, this is like the only simulation game that I play, I guess. Trying to think if there's any others that would even qualify. Not really. This is like it. It's kind of in its own category for me. I mean, I've tried another farming game. It didn't last very long. I don't know if I was a big fan of that one. It was more of a farming... What was it even called? Like Farm Manager or Farm... I don't remember what it's called. It's on the channel somewhere. We're going to get another bale? I think we might. Nope. Almost. Oh, so close. There's a couple little bits and bobs I can pick up, but honestly, the fastest way for me to get... Oh, actually, I can go grab that little strip right over there, I think. I see a strip that I kind of missed a little bit of. I think it was Farming Manager 2021. I think that's the one I tried. It had possibilities. I don't think it played out quite as well as I was hoping it would. It's possible that it's a better game now. I'm sure they've made updates and enhancements, and it's just straight up a better game now than it was when I played it. But am I really going to be like this tiniest bit short. Okay, there's some up here. Normally I wouldn't chase down these little bits, but I just want to get this bale finished and get it done. Normally I would just bother picking up these bits when I remote again, right? It's not worth really the time to go chase down stuff like that all the time. But all right, we got it. You're a programmer, should be a piece of cake. I would have no idea. Oh, yeah. No. Programming definitely opens up a lot of doors for me to be able to do fun stuff. All right, let's get these picked up with the trailer. And I'm probably going to... Yeah, I'm trying to think of how I'm going to do this. Obviously, I got to reseed that stuff in the middle that we added. Well, not reseed, but initially seed it. I'm going to tuck you in here, because why not? Might as well use my buildings for something occasionally. All right, let's grab the trailer. It looks like, I mean, like I said, it might be a better game now. So if you bought it for $5, it probably is at least worth $5 of time. There's just some parts of it that were not as fun as I'd hoped. But honestly, I might give it another try sometime, because I actually think they have done some more updates to it. And so it could be, I mean, I don't think it's going to replace this game by any stretch of the imagination, but it could be a game that still, you know, a few hours of fun. I might try it again sometime. I have a massive Steam library, but the reason I have a massive Steam library is because I have been subscribed to Humble Bundle for years. 6, 7, 8 years, I don't know, for a long time. And obviously every month they have the little choice thing, but I'm actually subscribed at a tier that they don't offer anymore, where I don't have to make a choice. I get all the games, I think, or something like that. It's weird. Some weird initial tier that they had when they first started out. So I have hundreds of games on Steam. It's insane. FM World? Okay, well that'll be interesting to see what that's about. You know what's funny? As I'm sitting here loading these up, for this part right here, the loading off the field, the actual bale loader is better, because I don't have to stop moving. I can just literally keep moving, and it just picks it up and drops it on there. The auto loader, I actually have to stop, you know, and come to a complete stop to pick it up. So it's actually slower. Now, when they're on the side of the, you know, when they're fermenting and I have to go pick up the entire load, this is obviously faster because I can just drop by and literally hit one button and it loads everything. But the actual true bale loader is a bit better for this. I think that's it, right? I don't think I can put another... Yeah, it's just 10, isn't it? Let me just double check. I meant to go edit the file to see if I can add another 2 on here, but I forgot. So, not a big deal. All right, let me get these dropped off. I'll probably just drop these over here, actually. Not really our land, but we'll pretend that I talked to the guy and he knows that I'm interested in his land. And he's going to let me use part of it for my bales. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Speaking of programming, I don't know if anybody here is into programming, stuff like that, but my company has started investigating and looking into AI assisted programming. So I'm actually, I think, technically part of a pilot program to work with one of the AI tools and see how much productivity I gain with my own personal programming by using AI to facilitate it. We'll see how it goes. For me, all AI is for me is just a Google search that is a little bit more responsive to my question. You know, that's literally all it is to me. It's not anything more than that, because obviously AI, in order to give you like any sort of knowledge, it has to get that knowledge from somewhere, and effectively it's just a, I don't know. I know it's more than that, but the way I personally would use AI is just a glorified search engine, because it's just a bank of knowledge, and I'm sure as AI continues to develop and grow, it'll be better at mimicking that actual true artificial intelligence. But today it's just a Google search, a glorified Google search. I actually don't know. I'd have to look at the no, it's not just a Stack Overflow thing. It's a it's a little bit more than that. Truth be told, I haven't really dug into it too much, so I'm not 100% sure exactly what the technology behind the one we've chosen is. Obviously, they don't want us using like open, Chat GPT and anything like that, because reasons. I'm not going to go type a specific question about my work product into Chat GPT. That's not probably the most secure idea in the world. But it's like I want to say it's one developed by Microsoft or something. I might be Microsoft's own brand, or if or something like that. It's supposed to be integrated into Visual Studio, I think. So we'll see how it works. I honestly, like I said, I have not personally played with it really at all. But I'm supposed to do something with it to kind of prove that it increases my productivity. The irony of that is I'm supposed to do something to prove that it increases my productivity. However, I have to take a temporary productivity loss to do the thing that they want me to do to prove that it increases my productivity. It's like, I don't have time to take a productivity loss right now to prove to you that AI is better. So I just haven't done it yet. Oh, see, I actually didn't know what when you said Stack Overflow Plus, I'm like, well, it's not Stack Overflow. It's not related to Stack Overflow, but I mean, I have used Stack Overflow, obviously. I actually don't know. It might be like that then. If it, like I said, I have not actually used it. I don't even remember the name of the technology. So who knows? Yeah. Now I have used AI. I did use ChatGPT for a little bit of programming. One, it was all the rage a couple months ago. Like people were really getting into it. And so it was not, I didn't do it for anything like work related, but I did it for some like my own personal stuff. And it worked, it was just like, it was one of those things where it's like, hey, I want to create, this. And instead of me like having to use my own brain to kind of think of how to kind of mock up the model and stuff like that, which I could have done. I'm like, obviously anything I asked it, I was capable of figuring out on my own, but it was just kind of like, hey, I want to do this. Okay, cool. You gave me that. Well, then how about you add this? All right. Well, then could you tweak that to make it do this instead? And stuff like asking questions like that to like ChatGPT even is pretty cool. And it was pretty responsive about getting like actual code snippets back that fit, my tweaked as I kind of progressed in the conversation, if you will. I guess if that's probably the best way to say it. It is a conversation. As I kind of progressed through the conversation, I was able to get a bit more fine-tuned to specifically what I was looking for. And it basically, it saved me some time. Like I said, I definitely could have come up with a model for it myself, but it worked. And if it's truly a time saver, I'm willing to work with that. The cool thing about being a programmer is that, I mean, will AI type technologies facilitate and help speed up my job? Sure. Are they going to completely replace my job? Not quite yet, because AI is pretty good and it can help speed up things. It is not perfect, not yet, not by a long shot. So it's going to be a little while before I have to worry about my job being replaced by AI. All right, we're going to do the rest of these later. Oh yeah, that's right. I need to go actually seed and stuff. I was like, there's a whole point. The reason I did all of that now was so that I can go ahead and get the seeding done. It's good for debugging, but you got to know what you're asking. When it's wrong, it acts fully confident you can... Yeah, no, 100%. AI facilitated programming is worth so much more if the person who's using the AI knows what they're talking about and knows when it's wrong. Or at least knows when to tweak the question so that you get a more accurate answer. Maybe that's a better way to put it. But I think it's a good way to check your work, so to speak, without necessarily saying it's the law, right? Like saying if you were to treat an AI suggested anything, you know, from a coding standpoint, as the law right now, I think you'd probably end up with something that's not going to work very well, or have some issues, quite frankly. Did that work? Why did it feel like it didn't drop any seeds? No, we're good. Weird. I did not realize. Does that use seeds to do that? It actually treats it like it's rolled. Like, because that's the color of what it would look like if I rolled over it. Now, obviously, I'm not going to run this seeder over the entire field to act as a rolling count, because it would just be better to have a roller, because a roller is bigger, quite frankly. But it's interesting that it's got the coloration of a rolled field, and I don't know that it's using seed for that part over here on the right hand side or not. I'm actually kind of curious now. I'm actually going to run this a little bit right here, just because I'm curious if it's going to use seed or not. No, it's not. It literally is just rolling it. Huh. I did not know that. Well, there you go. I don't know. Again, I don't know if it has any value whatsoever, but it is interesting that that is basically rolling the field for me. All right. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. I know we technically lose a little bit of crop, but it's going to make me happier in the long run. And actually, if I cut this off now, I could go ahead and put a greenhouse down and start getting a little bit of money coming in. What am I looking for? Oh, yeah. Painting. Landscaping. Painting. We want to paint some... I mean, quite frankly, we just want to paint some normal grass. Because... that'll work. Alright, usually I use the mouse for this part because it's a little bit more of a fine-tuned process. I mean, technically this is still grass, so I can still just mow over here, but I wanted to define the field. Just make sure that I know that the field is what I want it to be. Okay, there we go. I guess I'll fill in this, I guess. It's going to cost me some money, but it's not too bad. Cool. That is done. I think I actually technically need to mow or seed this tiny little bit right here, and there's a little bit over there as well, I see. Oh, is that because it's not plowed as well? Is that what I missed before? I think I did seed it, and I just didn't plow it, did I? I may have to fix that when I repair this bit over here then. No, it might have seed on it now. It's hard to tell. We'll find out if it grows later. Grass needs to be plowed before seeding anything else. Yeah, I plowed that bit in the middle there when I created that, obviously. But yeah. Fun test is simple as giving a simple coding question and then it tell it you're wrong 3 times in a row. Oh. You know, I've always thought, yeah. I think it would be funny to troll AI. Just set up a multiplayer game on the 4X Elmcreek with the goal of owning all fields and having them all grass. That would be a lot of grass. I'm about to run out of fuel. I guess I'm going to go get some real quick. Good thing the gas station is close. Yeah. I think I misread what your question, your statement was. Grass needs to be plowed before seeing anything else. I'm actually not sure if that's entirely true. I think I've cultivated before. Unless you're counting cultivating as plowing. Because usually I just get the seeders that have the built-in cultivators, and I think I've used those over grass before, and it works. All right. You know what? Do we have space? Do we want to put a greenhouse down? Like I said, it would be a little bit of a ding right now. It's something we're going to need eventually, and it would start just being money right now. Greenhouses. Oh, it's not 20,000. It's 10,000. I don't know why I said 20,000. Like, I could put a couple strawberry greenhouses right here. Probably what I would do is actually spin them around and do kind of what I did on the first Elmcreek and just literally set them side by side here. Leave a little bit of space just for tractor stuff. Yeah, I mean, we might as well put these down. Don't see why not. They will start being profitable for us. I'm trying to think of how I want to position them. Usually I position them just in a row so I can just pick everything up. But if I'm not picking anything up because I'm selling it, then it might not matter. What I might actually do instead is literally stack them together so that the water's on the same side. That's probably better if I'm not planning on ever picking them up. Because even when I get to the point where I'm making the cakes, I'll just distribute instead of sell. And I think that takes care of that as well, right? Why do I feel like that's not it? Straight. I guess it's straight. It just didn't look straight for a second there. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get these down. Why not? And I think I could just literally stack them into each other. Technically, I'm yeah, I know it's technically fill it in the spot, but I have the mod that allows me to do this, and I just want to be able to have the water together. I'm actually tempted to grab a third. There's space for a third. You know, why not? There's space for a third. Why not? And we'll just fill these all up with water, and let me go into the production for them. I mean, it's going to take a little while for them to pay off the $30,000 I just spent, but it should be fine. And we want to sell, we want to sell, and we want to sell. And I could technically do these all three as three different things, but I'm just going to do strawberries, and it's going to be fine. Cool. I'm happy with that. And then we just need to get the water trailer, which is under animal. Oh, yeah, that was animals. I can grab this little one. Usually I grab that one. It's a bit bigger. Yeah, I think I just grab the bigger one. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's going to be fine. I didn't realize there was two different wheels there, but I don't think it matters. We'll grab that. So we spent 40,000 bucks. How long is it going to take us to make $40,000 in strawberries? Probably a while. But at some point we will, and all will be well. How many pre-recorded and edited videos do you have in Chamber? You've upgraded yourself to silver membership, but I haven't seen your username in the credits. Oh, well, I usually do the credits at the end of the month, and like I just kind of sum up everybody's credits for the whole month and put them into the thing, and so that's probably why I just did them. I think you might have renewed on like the 2nd or something like that, and I think I literally just made the updated credits for that. I could go ahead and add you in. I mean, might as well. I could go ahead and update that because you did do it close enough to the beginning of the month to count. But normally, if that's the reason why you haven't seen it, it's just because I do it on November 30th or whatever. I go ahead and do the up credits for the previous month, and then I sum it up and go from there. But yeah, I don't mind updating that. That's not a problem. I can definitely update that soonish. As far as your other question, though, which I think you were just asking that because of the credit part, but just in general, I usually try to have a couple weeks of stuff. I mean, it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes I'm getting down to the wire and I'm like recording something for like the next week, like things like that. But in a perfect world, I would have a couple weeks kind of loaded up because it allows me to stay flexible with my family life and things like that. So that's kind of where I'm at. Oh yeah, so yeah, like I said, I have no problem adding you in because why not? But that's the only reason it's not on there because I'd already technically done the one for the month of the previous month, basically. Need water closer to our farm. I mean, it's not that bad to be right over here, but I wish it was a little closer. I actually tried getting a mod that would allow me to add water to the map, but when I did that, it was not... I don't think I was able to collect the water or something like that. Something weird happened. I don't remember exactly. You think the county would mind if I just stretched some big long hose across the highway and over to my farm? And that's just how I had it set up. I'm kidding. If you put down the distribution building by Omatana and set the water to distributing, it will fill greenhouses and you can only have to fill distributing placeable. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with that, but yep. I do know that this thing right here, where is it? This little contraption here is under silo things or is it containers? That thing right there. The supplementary water tank is shared. So technically you only have to fill, like if I put this close enough where all three of them are sharing it, they all get extended capacity. And technically I only have to fill it up. And then they all, I mean, they still drain from their own water, which is weird, but they also share from this, which is also weird. Like it's weird. My buddy and I figured that out in one of our multiplayer runs, and so we just only filled that thing up all the time. And then we would get annoyed that they didn't all say full on water, even though they were all functioning, because we had that one water tank. They weren't all full of water, and it bugged us, so we would just get tired. Oh, I just went the wrong way. We would get tired and we would just go and fill it up anyway. Like every once in a while we would just go fill up all of them anyway, because it just bothered us that it just wasn't actually filling them up in a weird way. I don't think this doesn't count as water. Just a little creek of nothingness. Yeah, if you're talking about water tanks, that's the thing I just mentioned, right? Yeah, this little water tank I can put behind it. So, yeah, those definitely work. Technically, there's also, obviously, the this thing. But this thing, you have to pay for. So, if I were to put that down, I have to buy that water. That's why I don't use that. But the other one is just an extension of the water tanks that already exist. So, that way I have to fill up less frequently, which is, you know, kind of nice. And again, they're technically shared in a weird way. It's just... And I might put one down at some point. For now, I'm just going to put like a full trailer load in each of them and go from there. No, I don't. I think that was a joke. I don't think there's no water, unfortunately, under the ground. Should be. I should be able to dig deep enough and get me some groundwater, but no. I should have the. Actually, even better. I should just have the option of building my own, you know, well. And why would I have to pay for the water from my own well? That should not be a thing. My grandparents had well water, and well water, at least specifically their well water, was strange because I think it just had a lot of iron in it, and which made it actually taste very sweet. It was very sweet water. So I used to drink that stuff all the time because it just it tasted sweet. I don't know how to explain it, but it was I just had, like, I guess some extra iron in it or something, because you could definitely tell that there was something extra. It was like very, I guess, hard water or whatever, because everything was discolored, like rust, almost rust color. All the faucets almost looked like rust, but it was just kind of a weird, I don't know, it was just something. Yeah, I mean, ideally, I would just get a semi-truck with a big, giant water trailer, fill everything up once, basically once a year, and never have to touch it again. That's right. We'll fill these up, and then we will... Well, it fills them up at least with one tank load apiece, and then we'll go from there. My guess is we'll get maybe $1,000 from the strawberries selling each month. Not a lot, but it'll eventually pay for all themselves. I mean, if the water filled up faster, I wouldn't be bothered by it, but it just takes a minute. Like, you're sitting there waiting for water to fill up. At least this map, you can get to the water easily. There's some maps that it is very hard to get to the water on the map because it's like down a hill or something like that. I mean, you guys, if you guys watched any of my French winery or whatever, I mean, which French grapes or whatever I said it was, it did not, it was very hard. I had to often do a contract just so I can get a tractor powerful enough to pull the water out of the ditch. Turns out water's kind of heavy. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. But this should count. I mean, there's water right here. I mean, I know it's not enough to literally... There's no way that's enough to feed my my strawberries, but I wish this was just a little deeper. And like, if that, I just wish that's how it was drawn in there. Mm. All right, I think once we drop this off, we're good to fast forward, question mark. Think so. All right, those are all supplied. We got 17 whole strawberries. How much are we actually expecting? We're going to get about 3,000 strawberries a month. Okay, that's actually more than I expected. 3,000 per thing, which is 9,000 strawberries total per month. And just on an average sale rate. I don't know, it's actually more than I expected. It's going to be about $2,000, something like that, $2,100. Roundabouts there. It's not bad, actually. That'll pay for itself in... Well, a year would be $24,000, and I spent $40,000 if you add the water thing in here. So 2 years, they'll pay for themselves. Actually, that's pretty good. Why did I bring you all the way over here? I'm only ever going to use you over there. I'm just going to... I should have left the water trailer by the greenhouses. Actually, they're actually not worth that much different. Lettuce is not necessarily worth more. They're all the same. Because once you add in how much, because you get less lettuce, and you get like a quarter of the amount of lettuce, but it sells for 4 times the amount. You get half the tomatoes, but it sells for half the amount, and you get 4 times as many strawberries, but they sell for a quarter of the amount of lettuce. So lettuce is not worth more, in the context of per hour. They are all effectively the exact same price, value, I should say. All right, that's it. Anything else we want to do? I don't think so. I mean, I still bugs me about the pH on these fields. Oh, I guess I need to fertilize at some point, but we'll do that later. Great demand at the animal dealer. Did I not set them all to sell? I felt like we didn't. I know it was later in the day, but well, I guess they're selling. Just didn't feel like we got as much. Maybe it didn't pop up over there. Maybe that's all it was. Does it just not show up in the top right corner? We sold, okay, we sold 1,000 last month, 1,193 for the rest of last month, and 741 in the 8 hours so far this month. So, yeah, that's about 2,000. Like I think I said 2,100 bucks. So 2,100 bucks. It'll take us about almost 2 years to pay for these, but that's not bad. I'm not sure where you're getting your 2 to 3 months return on investment because that's not, as far as I know, that's not accurate. Okay. I mean, even if I were to sell them, I don't think that's accurate. 2 to 3 months. There's no way that's not for a $10,000 greenhouse. Let's go. It's raining. We do need to do some fertilizer down. Since it's raining and there's grass on the field, I'm not going to be able to see this very well. Although I guess I can see it from the mini map. Still, I might just take a minute and let my worker run this for me for a moment. Oh, goodness. Yeah, well, at least, like I said, one more silage will get us that field for sure. Although, again, that field has minimal value now that I've actually already got the greenhouses down. There's not much I have to put over here right now. I mean, the only reason I want this field is because it bugs me to have this. This field's not complete, but it serves there's no point. Like, it doesn't really have any value. No, that's not accurate. The 3 productions together do not give you $200 every hour. That is not accurate. I've definitely done this before, and if you're talking about one of each, if that's what you're referring to, because the money's the same. The money's identical. Strawberries, lettuce, tomatoes, it's identical money. I mean, giving into account fluctuation of each one's going to fluctuate differently, but at the end of the day, they are identical. And so I just did the math on strawberries, and it's $2,100 for all 3 of our strawberries for 1 month. It's not $300 or $200 per. That's not factual. Only strawberries in each greenhouse does not give you a third of that. That's not logical. That doesn't make sense. I could do 100 strawberries and it would not change the value per greenhouse. Yeah, it would not change the value per greenhouse. Just because I have more strawberry greenhouses does not mean I have less money. Greenhouses, whether you're doing, like I said, whether you're doing strawberries, whether you're doing lettuce, or you're doing tomatoes, they all are identical in sale prices and basically return on investment. It's okay though. We'll be. Oh, you know what? You just put a little hill there. That's kind of a little troublesome, but we can smooth that out later. Have I tried 4 fields yet? Yeah, but running strawberries, tomatoes, and lettuce simultaneously is not any different than running 3 strawberries. There is literally no difference. All right, you're almost done here. Good stuff. If I were to sell it myself, I could get a return on investment in, I think, about 1.5 years. But letting it auto sell, I think it'll be about 2 years, which is still fine. That's still pretty good return on investment. Oh, you're saying do all 3 in the same greenhouse. I'm admittedly have never tried that. Yeah, I guess I've never actually tried doing all 3. I've just always done one. I mean, I can try that. If that's what you're saying, then yes, you're right. It is 3 times the production. Truth be told, I assumed you couldn't do all 3 of those. I didn't even know you could hit all 3 of these. I assumed it was one. Because I read somewhere, and it might just be that Giants is wrong, which, you know, it's fine. They can be wrong sometimes. But when I read about greenhouses on their website way back whenever, it did not say anything about being able to do all 3. And at the time, and so I took their word at face value, and I've never even tried to do all 3 at the same time. I mean, I'll try all 3. Why not? Seems a little bit strange to be able to do all 3. I feel like you should have to choose, in my opinion. But I guess it just works like any other production facility at that point. I mean, we'll do it. Again, I don't... It feels strange, but we'll do it. We'll try it. Why not? I don't think this should be allowed. I guess it's the moral of my story. To me, this should not be allowed because, to me, I get that it operates just like any production chain, and any other production chain you could turn on every single option. But to me, in my brain, it should not work that way. You should have to pick what goes in the greenhouse because each greenhouse, I mean, it's just not logical that you're going to run, you know, 3 different types of crop in one single, like, there's not enough space for that, I guess is what I'm getting at. There's not enough room. But we'll run it. Why not? We'll see what it does. I mean, I'm definitely glad I'll definitely make sure I'm selling these, though. I definitely do not want to deal with transporting anything. The whole point of this was to set and forget. Like you said, it will use 3 times the water. I get that. That 100% makes sense to me. But, I genuinely just... My math... We were both right. We were both right in the sense that my math was correct at how much money we get for strawberries. My math is also correct in that these are all worth basically the exact same amount. Again, barring fluctuation in their own individual prices. But then you were also correct in that you can turn on all 3. And I just didn't know that you could turn on all 3. Doesn't mean I'm going to have to get a lot of water, though. I got a lot of water to fill up. That's going to be fun. Oh, I guess that other field's already got enough fertilizer that you're not going to have to do this. So let me just turn you off and turn you around. Oh, I need to rebuy the... Oh, I need to rebuy the stuff. Do I want to rebuy it right now? I really don't. But I kind of need to. How much is it? I don't want to spend a bunch of money right now. I think I'll wait until the next time. I think I'll wait until I need it again, and then I'll buy the stuff in the middle. But if you don't know, for precision farming, you have to buy the section that you add in because it doesn't actually have that calculated into the precision farming. So I'm not actually getting the precision farming credit for that gap in the middle until I rebuy the precision farming scan. I mean, I could go get the scanner and just scan that section myself, but... Yeah, it does make sense that it'll work. It'll use more water because the water input is what? 1,536 because that's 1 to 1. And then it's 2 to 1 here, so that's 1,536. And then it's same thing, 1 to 1. So you're basically taking 1,536 liters of water times 3, which is 4,500 plus, basically 4,600 liters of water per month to run all 3 of these individual. Each month, each of these will take, 4,600 liters of water plus. So that makes sense. Which does mean I'll have to go take a trip like basically every month. I gotta go take 3 trips. But I guess if I get a lot of money for it, it's worth it. I mean, now that I realize that you can run 3 crops in the greenhouses, well, no, I should have just enough water. I should be at 1,000 liters of water this time tomorrow. About 1,200 liters of water, something like that. So if I'm at 1,200 liters of water in each of these, then you're right that it does, in fact, use triple the water and produce triple the crops. Or triple the stuff. Yeah, around 10 a.m. You're right. Around 10 a.m. tomorrow, I would be run out. But what I was going to say is that now that I realize you can run all 3 crops in those, which again, I just did not contemplate that was a thing. It's almost like that is worth more to me. Like, that's just easy money. What I should do is just go get the semi-trailer, get the semi-water trailer thing, and just fill those things up big time and just fast forward months for the next 3 months, and like not even do grass at all. Because eventually I'll have enough money to do everything I want to do. I'm not going to do that. That feels a little too gamey. And I want to at least, I'm not, grass is already gamey enough for me. I don't want to I still want to play, I don't want to just have greenhouses running on autopilot. But I could definitely see the value now. I genuinely did not know that you could do all 3 in there. That is tripping my mind out right now. Again, to your point, it's coded just like a production facility. So I don't know why I would not have thought that. But to me, it shouldn't work, I guess is really what it comes down to. One, 2, 2, 3, 3. I actually don't know what that means. All right, cool. That is that. We're fully fertilized across the board, ready to fast forward and apparently make a lot of money off our greenhouses. Because that is what we're going to do now, which is fine. It's blowing my mind a little bit, like I said. I mean, the fact that I was able to hit all 3 buttons tells me that you're right. I completely understand that you're right now. my stance and argument of no, that's not possible was that I genuinely did not think you could hit all 3 buttons. We good? Let's check the used stuff. Just not that we would buy it, but I like to look and dream and wish that I could have money for stuff. All right, let's go. Oh, we're not ready to mow yet, right? No, of course not. Was there... Oh, I was going to think about... Wasn't I going to think about running something over for weeds as well at some point? I don't remember. I think I was thinking about trying something that would help us do weeding. So yeah, how much did we make? Well, first off, did it use up... No, it did not. Okay, so it definitely only used enough water for one of them. Did it give us... No, it did not. So it only gave us the money for one of the choices, and it only used water for one of the choices. So yeah, apparently, I don't know what you read on Reddit. I'll let it go one more month just to see. But based on what I just saw, it does not work. Grape fields take forever, don't they? The mulching and cultivating and everything. Oh yeah, grape fields take forever, for sure. I'll be on... Oh, that might be the only other mod that I do have in this game that I think I did turn on. Hey, look, there's actually a... Ooh. That's really tempting. It's not a very powerful tractor, but it could do some stuff. It could do some stuff for us. Also a little header. We could actually do more than one thing at once with this little dilly jigger. Well, I mean, yeah, definitely never trust Reddit. That is 100% factual. Don't get me wrong. I've gotten plenty of my own information off Reddit. So you're not, I don't think you were, I actually believed you for a moment there when you said that. After I figured out that I could click all 3 buttons, I did believe you for a moment there. The funny thing is, don't we see all 3 things in there? Maybe it just needed a month to cycle. Let's give it a month to cycle and we'll see. Let's give it a month and see what happens before we judge it. Maybe it just needed a, I don't know. I actually don't have no, I'm coming up with things. But mathematically, it did not make any difference that I can see. So we'll see. We'll see once we let it cycle another month. Which actually we might just do right away because I don't think I need to mow anything. I don't need to fertilize anything. We have 1 more month to mow because we're going to wait for the second growth. And all that looks good. So unless I want to buy this tractor, which I kind of do, but it would set us back on our path right now. If I buy this tractor, then I can do the mowing and the windrowing basically at the same time and start baling while we're still mowing. We can be baling while we're doing other things. I mean, it's only 75 horsepower. I'd have to bump it up to like something bigger if I wanted anything realistic. It wouldn't be able to do the baling because the baling is too strong, right? The baler is 140 horsepower, but it would be able to do the mowing, and it would be able to do the spraying when we need to do that. It would also be able to do the windrowing. It is very, very, very tempting to get that little tiny tractor. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think the production levels are cut in 1/3 when they're all active. That's probably completely accurate, Northwoods. That they are cut in 1/3 when they're all active. That is logical to my brain. Now that you say that, we'll get it another month just to see. But I think that's actually perfectly logical. Which, if that's the case, then we'll just drop it back down to strawberries because that's all we care about in the long run. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I get the tractor? It's going to fully set us back right now, but it will mean that I can basically double speed all of our work from this point forward. It's such a tiny little tractor. I definitely want a double speed. Double speed just makes things go so much faster. Because obviously things are, it's a little bit slow right now, but I guess like if I get to talk to you guys, it's not a big deal. Let you go switch your greenhouses thing. That's funny. All right, we're gonna pass up on that tractor. We'll wait till we can get a better tractor down the road, maybe. I think that'll be good. And I'm gonna sit here and watch this thing, and we'll be here ready to look at it once we come back from fast forwarding. Yeah, I would say it's not worth it at this point necessarily. You're probably right. Truth be told, if I was just playing on my own, I would not bother getting the tractor. The only desire I have of getting that tractor is to speed things up for the sake of the stream. Quite literally. So if you guys are not bothered by the pace of the stream, then I'm not going to be bothered by it. So yeah, there we go. 2 months in, we exactly about the amount of money that I said, around 2,000. I think I said 2,100, but I was off because of fluctuation. So around $2,000, and the water we used was exactly the amount of water we would expect for a single cycle. So it was a good idea. I mean, it was not, like I said, I thought you were wrong until I realized you could hit all 3. And then as soon as I hit all 3, I was like, oh, you're right. This is going to work. And then obviously now we know it doesn't. So I think it was a good theory, quite frankly. I just never knew that you could hit all 3 of those. I guess if there's ever a situation in the future where I feel like I need all 3 of those for anything, which I don't think there is any, there's no production that needs the lettuce or the tomatoes, right? It's the only production is the one that needs strawberries. So I don't think there's ever a situation where you would need the other 2 unless you just wanted to have a balance. But if I was going to do that, all I would do is I would have one doing a single greenhouse doing strawberries, a single greenhouse doing tomatoes, and a single greenhouse doing lettuce. Wait, why am I grabbing that one? I don't want to grab that. Our brain was in a different place. I do want to mow, but I also want to fill these up with water again. But still, these will pay for themselves in about, I don't know, 2 years at most, maybe a little bit less. And that will be, that's good. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Can we build animal farms? Yes, we're going to build cows at some point. Not yet. It's a little too early for cows, but we will be doing cows because we need the milk for our cakes. Oh, and we need eggs, don't we? So we need chickens as well. We will be doing cows and chickens. Chickens are actually pretty nice. Chickens take very little input. Actually, chickens probably should come before flour mill, because I think eggs are a bigger return on investment for your grain than your flour mill. The only problem is that chickens don't eat that much grain, so we'll have just leftover grain. But I still think it's possible that chickens should come before the flour mill, and we'll have grain for them specifically. Make some tools operate at tractor speeds. Not sure. Okay, that's interesting. The good news is a full trailer load of this will last us, what? Almost 5 months? So that's not bad. All right, little strawberries. Of the 3 types that we can put in there, strawberries would be my favorite anyway. I mean, I eat lettuce. I'll eat a salad. I don't mind that. I do not eat tomatoes. Although, I should actually qualify that. I don't eat tomatoes by themselves, but I do eat plenty of tomato-based products. I mean, barbecue sauce, ketchup, pizza sauce, marinara, like anything that's Italian or pizza or like I eat tomato-based things all the time. But tomatoes by themselves, I just don't. I do not eat tomatoes by themselves. And then, of course, lettuce, like I said. I mean, I'm not going to eat lettuce by itself either. I'll eat lettuce in a salad. But strawberries, I can eat strawberries all day. I don't know what you keep meaning by when you say 4 fields. What is 4 fields? I'm not sure what you mean. I apologize. 4 fields is huge. What 4 fields? Are you just talking about the fact that we have 4 fields? Although technically we have 3 now. Because we've combined a couple of them. Oh, there's a map called 4 fields? Oh, there's literally just... Is it just 4 fields literally on the map? Okay. I mean... Sure. But, I mean, you've never even seen me work the big field on this map. Like, there's a big giant field right here. I've never worked that. I mean, other than for a contract. I don't know that I would do a giant field. I don't know. We'll have to see. 4 fields DLC map. Alright. I'm assuming the whole point of 4 fields is so that you can kind of break up the fields yourself however you want to. So you just have 4 big fields and then you can kind of split them up in your own. Okay. Wow, that's a lot of very large fields. That's... Sounds a bit excessive. I don't know how you would work through that. That's a lot. Unless you just had big equipment, which I guess if you had big equipment, that's fine. But I would not... You would not be able to do it with the size of tractors that I'm running right now, obviously. That would be painful. I just realized I missed the one in the middle. You know what? Since we are getting money, let me just go and grab this thing. Both to prove to myself and you guys that it actually does work the way I think it does. Oh, it's an extension. Sorry. There we go. Let me just grab this thing. We're going to plop it right... Honestly, I'm just going to put it... Where do I want to put it? Right here on the edge. Actually... I don't remember how close it has to be to hit them all. So I might actually just put it in the middle here just to make sure it is hitting them all. Well, you know what? It's an experiment. If it doesn't work here, then we'll know. We'll know. Yes, that just doubled it because it has water in it. And then I think if I fill it up, it's weird. It behaves very strangely. Oh, that's what you were talking about, cotton baling at 100 kilometers per hour. Okay. I mean... Oh, it's 25... Did it actually say on there? I probably just was blind and was not looking. Or do you just know that? Oh, I didn't say, but you must just know that. That's cool. I've got to ask you then. What is the difference between cotton baling at 100 miles an hour on a field that's 4 times the size and cotton baling at 25... Well, 25 miles an hour is still faster than you could cotton bale. But let's just say, for argument's sake, cotton baling at 25 miles an hour on a field that's a quarter the size. Isn't it basically the exact same thing? Like, I mean, I guess it's kind of fun to do it at 100 kilometers an hour, but at the end of the day, it's literally the exact same thing. Do you get more money for cotton baling at 100 kilometers per hour? Sure, but this game isn't all about just making money. It's about the process. I think it sounds interesting. I'm sure it's hilarious. It would probably make for some entertaining content. For me, you would probably see me rolling over some... Well, I don't think you can roll over the cotton balers. I think those are actually immune to rolling over at high speeds. Well, for one. Actually, I don't know. I say they're immune to rolling over at high speeds. I've never taken them at a high enough speed that would allow them to roll over. But some of the equipment is actually very planted and does not have the ability to roll over. So I would not be surprised if that's the case. All right, we'll just fill this thing up and then we'll be good to mow. Oh, it's already full. That's right. Right? Is it? Actually, I don't know if it is. I know it had water in it when I put it down, but I can't remember if just filling it up here counts. I just remember it behaving strangely and not consistently. It might have just been how we had it set up on our multiplayer map. Yeah, so like, it just put it in that. Which must mean I'm actually just literally putting it into this one. I think it has to be empty, though. I think as it empties, we can put water back in it. We've got enough water for now. We'll come back around to that and we'll test out the experimentation of having a single thing later. And see how it all works. I just know it behaves strangely. It's not very intuitive in the sense that it's not what you would think. Alright, let's go grab our mower. How's our silage coming along? We're almost there. We'll have it here in a couple hours. You're now a mod addict. That's you know, once you start, you can't stop, huh? When do we sell our silage again? Is it January? Silage, I believe, is up here. We sell it in January, in theory. So we'll circle back around to that later. Oh, what I was going to say is there is one other type of mod that I have. I think. Did I add it in here? I think I did. which you guys probably saw when I was putting the greenhouses down. I do have a mod that allows the grape orchards and the olives to count as greenhouses. That way I don't have to do, like, as you guys know, I have issues with the grapes specifically. And the olives are less of a bad thing, but specifically the grapes. But there's obviously things that require grapes, specifically the cereal. And so this allows me to still do that production facility, but without having to actually do the grape harvest myself, which makes me happy. If you like the grape harvest, I applaud you, but it literally gives me a headache, which is so weird to say, but it does. It hurts my brain because my brain tries to go down that line perfectly, and it's like that level of focus is a bit much for me for some reason. I think we might need a windrow now. I have a feeling this is going to be kind of a lot of grass. We'll see. How much money is our little solar panel giving us? A little bit. It's not giving us much. We're getting about 300 to 300, almost 400 per month off of it. And what was it, 10,000 or something like that? $7,800. So at 400, let's say 300 bucks per month on the low end, it will take us a little about 2 years. Around about, oh, that's actually not bad. It's about the same as the generator. And we actually might get a little bit more because it looks like some months we get close to 400. That's not bad. You only need to mulch and cultivate once between every row. I thought I personally experimented with that and found out that a single, like you did technically need both to get the full effect, but it was close enough with the single that I just did singles on my own. Or actually, I think I actually got to the point where I just stopped doing mulching altogether. I'll be honest, it's been, how long has it been since I actually did the grape run? All right, fine, you're being slow. I was going to let you take over for a minute, Mr. Worker. I don't remember, but I vaguely remember that it didn't quite get it to 100% with the single mulch. Or I think I did a couple different rounds of experimentation, and it's possible I'm just forgetting what my final result was because I purged that particular save from my memory. It was not my favorite save by any stretch. I like the idea. It was fun to kind of... I like the idea of working with new equipment. I thought that was kind of cool and fun. But, just kind of turned out to be a little too tedious for my tastes. I remember doing all sorts of testing on the grapes when I was doing that save. I tried all sorts of different things. It's possible that the actual yield you get was different, but if you actually hover over the grapes themselves after doing like a single mulch, like right down the middle, it does not give it 100, it doesn't give you the full value. It's possible that the tooltip is wrong, But I do remember that the value that you get from doing the single mulch right down the middle was not enough. Like you had to do one on one edge and one on the other edge to get like the full value or something weird like that. But again, tooltips can be wrong. There's also something with the fertilizing. Like if you skipped every other fertilizing, it messed up some stuff somehow. Hey Moonwolf, how's it going? I think what would make grapes better for me is if the sticks did not have collision. Because if the sticks didn't have collision, then yeah, would I stop harvesting if I veered off course? Sure, I get that. That makes perfect sense. If I'm not on the line, it should not be harvesting grapes. But it should not, like, if I'm not quite online and it just kind of runs off a little bit, it shouldn't just block everything. It should let me just kind of... I get that it's not realistic if sticks don't have collision, but from a gaming standpoint, I feel like the sticks shouldn't have collision. Well, that's good to know that my worst fears are not legit. Because again, doing that mulching where you mulch right on the edge, oh, that was painful. So if you only have to mulch right down the middle, that's definitely a lot better. There's a lot more space for that. That's really good to know. Oh, I'm going to leave a little strip. No matter how I do it. I was hoping I could get just barely enough for all of it. That's all right. It's a very nice field of grass we got here. There's a lot of grass laying on top of this field right now. If we wait one more cycle, will it be done before winter? July, August, September, October? Yeah, it will be, right? Yeah. This is the type of task I need four-wheel steering for. Let me turn a little bit more on a dime for this mowing. Some point this field right here will probably be our cows, I think. It's kind of what I did with the first Elmcreek, and I might as well do it again. If it's not cows, it'll be chickens. Something. We'll put some sort of animals probably here. This field is... It exists, but at the grand... You know, in the long run, I think it'll just be better used for some sort of building. By the way, just to bring something up, kind of a random point. If you guys have watched any of the Zelanka save, I think it's fascinating. I'm not sure if I understand the logic behind it, but it's fascinating that this field right here costs 114,000 bucks. This field on the Zelanka save would be like $20,000. I mean, the property values for that map are so much lower than they are for this. Truth be told, if that was like the new way that they were going to be doing field costs, I wish they would just port it over to this map as well and just be like, all right, your fields only cost 20,000 bucks now. A field that only costs 20,000 bucks, it's a way easier to get profit off of than one that costs 114,000 bucks. You got to do a lot of cycles of crop to pay off $114,000 of a field. I mean, I think $20,000 might be too far the other direction, so maybe it's not super relevant or super like, it's not quite what I'm looking for, but somewhere in the middle maybe. Maybe it is just yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. If it is just adjusted for local economy, fine, but I don't think the prices for anything else are adjusted for local economy. Pretty sure the tractors cost the same. I'm pretty sure the crops sell for the same. I don't think anything else, literally anything else, the buildings cost the same as far as I know. I don't think anything else is adjusted. It's just the fields for whatever reason. So I thought that was just a little bit strange is all. Yeah, exactly. No, I don't think anything else is. Oh well. Check our used equipment. Anything fun? Oh, just still that tractor that's taunting us. Buy me. Sorry. It's telling me to buy it. It knows that I want it. All right, I'm just going to turn on the worker for a minute. Just to take a break every once in a while. I need to go get a lime mod, I guess. Just that buying that lime trailer is just so expensive for what it's worth. I mean, it is worth the $45,000 that you spend for it. Once you add up the fact that you get more, not only do you get more yield, but you get more precision farming stuff. But it is very expensive compared to everything else that you would add to your field. Nothing else compares to the cost of this. Like even fertilizing, I can grab this fertilizer for 25,000 bucks, and it gives me plenty of value. I can grab a weeder for like what 10-12,000 bucks, something like that. This thing's just I just wish it wasn't this expensive. Or that there were other options. Again, I know there's just mods out there, and I looked for them, but I didn't see anything I really liked, so I need to poke around a little bit more, I guess. Someone didn't check their to-do list. I mean, maybe. Who knows why? I just found it to be funny. But it does mean that on the Zelanka save, I was able to get a lot of fields very quickly. We have way more field acreage on that map right now than we do on this one. And it's still early game on that one. It's funny. At some point I need to get the little building that makes the workers go a little bit quicker. Although I'm not entirely sure why that exists. Like, why? Why are you going to make me buy this building right here? Where is it? I think it's just under buildings, isn't it? Tools? No. What's it under? Is it just under sheds? Yeah. Like, why are you going to make me buy this? And all it does is I think it makes the workers go 11% faster. Why not just release an update that says, hey guys, we figured out how to make the workers go 11% faster. Here you go. Why does it have to be a building? It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Oh, that's cool. Oh, zoom out. There we go. That's awesome. I don't know that I've seen this yet. I haven't really looked at much of the Platinum expansion stuff, but a building, like a shed that has solar panels on it, that's pretty cool. Oh, this one too. Man, these are ginormous buildings. Wow. Full call. It's pretty cool though. Oh, there's a tiny one. I don't know that I've actually looked at these. Garage for contractors. Is that just the name of it? It sounds like it'd be something worth more than that. But I think that's just the name. It's just a fancy name for something that doesn't actually have anything to do with contractors. Oh, this actually has a workshop. That's pretty cool. I like that. I actually like that a lot. Big vehicle garage with, that's the one thing I have not gotten into in any of my saves is the buildings and stuff. Because they cost money and they don't do anything. They're just cosmetic most of the time. But I guess some of those, they actually do have a little bit of a income. Or are worth a little bit more. Anything else that I haven't actually looked at? Silos. I mean, there's obviously the agri-pack stuff. I do have the mod turned on for these fermenting silos. In case I get tired of doing the bale stuff. These are just ones that I had these on the original Elmcreek. I could just kind of park these somewhere and just get silage if I just kind of get tired of doing the other stuff. So I think I had these because they were on the original Elmcreek. And I think that's the only reason I had those. Silo extensions. I don't remember this one being in my mod list. I must have forgot to turn that one off. I don't remember having that one. Or maybe I just never used it and that's why I forgot that I had it. I don't think I have actually ever used that. So, my next live stream will be on Saturday, by the way. I know I usually say this at the end of the night, but I was thinking about it just now. So, my next live stream will be Saturday for Civilization. And then I have one on Monday for Football Manager, which I know a lot of people don't join, which is fine. I don't mind that you guys don't like Football Manager. But the one on Monday does also happen to be on my birthday. My birthday is on Monday. So, I will be streaming for my birthday. You don't have the 11% HUD on your console? Really? And that's not a mod. Like, that's just a base DLC thing from Giants. I think it's part of the precision farming, maybe? Precision farming DLC. Do you have precision farming DLC though? I'm assuming you probably at least have that, right? And there's two of them actually here. I don't know if there's a standalone thing under the tools. I've never used the weather station. Well, partly because weather just has no actual bearing on your fields. The only time that weather has a bearing is like when it rains, right? You don't want to harvest when it rains, but then you just fast forward until it stops raining. Like, I don't know that I've ever needed or used or wanted to use the weather station. Also, the weighing stations. What purpose do these have? Like, when would you ever use, unless it's just cosmetic? I get that it does have a function. It does actually weigh stuff, but beyond, okay, goody, I get to know the weight. What value does that actually have? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Those are from the precision farming. Yeah, I don't know what I don't know what the weights are for. And then we have there's a lot of farmhouses now with the platinum expansion and the, I thought there was some from the premium. Maybe it's just for that one map. Oh, you know what? I don't have the premium expansion turned on. Do I? Do I for this? save? I don't know that I do. Premium expansion. I don't know that I actually ever turned it on. I do not. I will turn on the premium. I think I will turn that on. There's not really much that we'll get from it, but might as well. There's no reason not to. I'll turn it on next time I load up the save for next week if I can remember. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I've never even interacted with. I'm just kind of curious kind of if there's a value or a reason to have it. It's kind of just interesting to me. One good thing about these fields is that they do give us really good yields. Yeah, these are just so much better yields than these ones up here. These are good fields. Oh, we do need to buy these up here now. Okay. Well, then we will go ahead and purchase. No, sorry. Let me make sure I'm clicking the right thing. We will purchase the soil information up here. We do need to get that going. And then once this goes black, we'll purchase this and it'll give us this gap in the middle. The one thing is that we're going to run into the same issue that we did, I think, last time, where once I get rid of this field up here, I won't be able to actually buy the soil information for 49 anymore. Which is a little weird, but actually I can't even click on it now. I thought I was able to buy soil information for one that I didn't own before. Maybe I'm just not remembering. Maybe I actually have to select it here. Why is it not letting me select anything? Oh, because I'm in the wrong screen. Because I'm being dumb. And our environmental score is garbage right now because of that lime. All right, little worker, I'll take over here in a moment. I'll let you finish your pass. Although you do such a better job of drawing straight lines than I do. My lines are always a little wiggly. I should actually test out to see if that 11% actually is 11%. I should time it doing an entire field, drop the building, and time it again and see if it actually has sped up by 11% or not. Because I don't know if like just sitting here watching a worker run, I don't think I would ever, I mean 11%, it's not an insignificant amount, right? Over the course of an entire playthrough, 11% will add up to be a pretty big amount, but just sitting here watching it, there's no way I would be able to recognize that it's going 11% faster. I don't know why it feels later than what it is. Not that I'm like tired or anything like that. It's just for some reason it feels like it's closer to the end of the stream. We still got a whole nother hour. Which I'm fine with. I still got plenty of things that we want to get done. I want to at least get to one more selling of silage. Just to see kind of where we're at money-wise and kind of plan our next adventure. I think getting the greenhouses was a good idea though, because that's just easy money I can set and forget. I mean, I don't mind that we experimented with the tomatoes and the lettuce, but I don't want to do anything that's not going to be something we're going to use for the cakes. Now, grass, we are still technically going to use for the cakes in a roundabout sort of way because we need silage for cows. So the fact that I'm doing grass and buying, you know, mowers and balers and stuff like that for this is still fitting that mindset of really only doing crops and products and things like that that are relevant for our final go, right? Now cows are not going to need this much silage, that's for sure. But, you know, we're still going to need silage. Oh, I forgot that grass that I paint down doesn't actually grow, and that bothers me. It used to grow in 19. In FS19, when you painted grass on the ground, there was a version of the painted grass that would fill into those spots. I forgot that what we just painted there does not grow though. Hey, Jarek, how's it going? Welcome to FS22. What is a good way to make money? I mean, are you talking about making money as fast as possible, or are you just talking about making money still having fun? I mean, the fastest possible money making is probably grass silage like we're doing here. It does get a bit boring after a while. I mean, you can put stuff down like greenhouses and like honey's not very hard. Like honey has no inputs. You literally just put down bees and collect the honey and sell it. So stuff like that's very easy to make money from. It's not a lot of money, but it's consistent money that you never really have to worry about too much. But yeah, grass is usually the fastest, or some sort of silage is usually the fastest. But I also think it's just better to have fun. And the best way to have fun and also make money is to pick out a production facility that you think looks interesting. Like cereal, or like we're doing cakes here or something like that. The production facilities will always add value to any crop that you put into them, or anything you put into them. And so I think production facilities are a good way to make good money, but also still be fun. Also animals. Animals can be, I mean, they're not, actually animals might not be the best example of money making. Chickens are pretty good money, and cow milk can be decent money, but there's a lot of work that goes into the cows for sure. Chickens are pretty easy though. Put up a sign. Well, yeah, I mean, put up a sign. I mean, again, I don't want to disparage people who use the government subsidies mod, but if you're just going to put up a sign, then why are you playing the game again? Because doesn't that defeat the whole point of playing the game in the first place? Sugar beets do make a lot of money, but they also take a long time, and it's very expensive to get the equipment that actually is worth anything. The basic equipment you can get is just, in my opinion, very slow. But they do make a lot of money. I mean, I think I even proved on one of my videos that sugar beets are technically one of the best money makers. It's just the equipment is so expensive. Oh, I was going to let this run one more time, wasn't I? Actually, that's a pretty big pile. I think we'll go ahead and harvest it now. Or bale it now. How do you get mods? There's a mod hub in the starting menu. If you go look at the menu, there should be like a thing for like, I think, new game or something like that, or career mode or so. I forget what the first option is. And then somewhere below that is I think the mod hub. I think one of the best ways to make money with sugar beets is to turn it into sugar. Because again, like I said, production facilities do add kind of a multiplier to whatever crop you put into them, basically. The best way to get sugar from sugar beets is to actually chop up the sugar beets. Personally, I do not bother chopping them, because the one piece of equipment that chops them, I think, is a complete pain in the rear end to use. And so I just don't use it. I just drop off the sugar beets just as they are. Sugarcane is also another good way to make money off sugar. Sugarcane is very interesting because a single field of sugarcane can supply you for a very, very long time. It's very slow to harvest, but the one harvest is it's a lot of volume, so you can actually get a lot from it. I like cotton a lot personally. Yeah, like what number one dad says. I think it's I think it's kind of fun to play around with. But again, same argument. Cotton is very expensive equipment. With the difference between cotton and sugar beets being that at least sugar beets have a cheaper option. There is no cheaper option for cotton. You're paying $400,000 for the cheapest option for cotton. And the really nice one, the John Deere one's what, 800,000 bucks? It's so expensive. It's nice though. I think that would be twice the output, Stormy, because it's two separate inputs. I think that's how that would work. Truth be told, I think every other production facility truly is twice, like a multiplier of the output based on how many buttons you've hit. I think greenhouses are the only thing that behave that other way. I could be wrong though. I could just not noticed that the other things do not produce as much and just assume that they did. Actually, it's making me rethink all of my production facilities. I'm going to have to kind of do the math on the production facilities again in the future to make sure that I am getting the outputs that I'm expecting. What's the best map? I'm personally a fan of this Elmcreek map, which is just the US map. I will say that the new Sri Lanka map, if you happen to have the new expansion, which you probably don't if you just bought the game, that one's a lot of fun too, but again, you have to have the expansion for that. So I think the Elmcreek map is really good. But honestly, just go find a map that's, you know, wherever you live. There's probably a map for close to wherever you live, somewhere on the mod hub, if you want to just try out something kind of different and fun. But you don't have to get a mod. I think these base maps are pretty cool. Yeah, Stormy. Like I need to go redo the math. I'm like, I've been assuming that I've like, for example, I have on the Sri Lanka map, I'm making all 3 types of soup, or oh, sorry, 3 types of baby food. I call it baby food. Anyway, all 3 types of the processed vegetables. I'm assuming that I'm getting 3 times the processed vegetables because it's 3 different inputs. But after this entire conversation, I'm suddenly like, wait a minute, have I been getting a third of it this entire time and just didn't realize? I felt like I would notice, but you never know. Yeah, never know. I will say if you just really like the idea of just a pure sandbox where you just create everything yourself and do your own thing, there is a map called No Man's Land that literally has, it's what it sounds like. It literally has nothing on it. You have to create your fields yourselves. And I have not personally played on that one, but I've heard it can be kind of fun if you just kind of, you want to just build your own whatever. You kind of want to design it however you want it to look. That No Man's Land map has been around for several iterations of Farming Simulator, actually. North Carolina. I can't remember if I've seen a North Carolina map or not. I know that they do have farming in North Carolina because I have lived in North Carolina myself. Honestly, Elmcreek probably would feel very close to... Yeah, you're probably right, actually. Elmcreek does kind of feel... I mean, Elmcreek's probably more Midwest, but it's not, like, far off from, like, a North Carolina type of location, I think. If I actually back up straight, doesn't it? You know what? I'm actually going to mow this one a second time. I don't think there's enough here to justify doing a baling. I'm going to let it grow one more time and mow this one. After that, I think that'll be better. I can see the pile is just not that big, and it's a little bit slower if I don't, you know, I think it makes it go a little bit slower in general. These piles are pretty big, though. I probably could have gone one more mowing, but I think I've mentioned before, sometimes if you go too high, the baler just has issues. How much does it cost to start grass? If you come into the menus and you go to, where is it? These right here, these packs. I'm not saying this is, you know, use your own kind of experiment and play around with it a little bit. But if you go to any of these crops, I'm assuming this is in the console as well. It'll actually tell you everything you need to kind of get started. Now, this one's probably a bad example because it's suggesting to use the forage wagon, which I think the only difference I would change here is that, yeah, get you basically, don't necessarily get this exact equipment, just get equipment like it. Okay, I need a tractor. All right, let me go find a tractor that I like. It doesn't have to be the Zetor. Just get any tractor. All right, I need a mower. All right, let me go find a mower that I like. Again, this one's kind of a bad example because I think most people would probably bale before they would forage wagon. But, you know, you can technically use a forage wagon, but baling would probably be your best option there. So, again, I think that was probably a bad example. Like, if I were to do, I don't know, cotton, I mean, there's all the equipment you would need for cotton. There's the thing to plant it, there's the thing to harvest it, there's the thing to transport it, you know. These are kind of just rough examples of things that would help you do what you need to do. The hay one's pretty interesting because it actually does have the baler on the hay one, I guess, which does make some sense, I suppose. But any of these they at least kind of give you an idea of what you need. They're not perfect, but like for grains, if you want to go do anything like wheat or barley, anything like that, you know, there's the harvester, there's the seeder, there's the things that you need. Again, it's not perfect, but it kind of gives you a little bit of a rough idea. It probably would be better if those menus were a little bit more thorough and kind of gave you more options to kind of choose from. A little bit more of like a help menu than just kind of whatever. Contractors is also a good way to do things. Contracts, the good thing about contracts is that they will give you all the equipment that you need as well. For example, if I come in here and go look at any of the contracts, we can go look at just a random one. Here's baling, right? Any of these baling contracts are going to give me all the equipment that I need. If I need to ted it for hay, then I'll have a tedder. If I need to bale it, which, I mean, they all typically are baling, obviously, because they're baling contracts, it'll have the baler. So any of these contracts, go pick it up, drive to the field, and use the equipment that it gives you to do what you need. Here's some for fertilizing. Again, it's got all the fertilizer stuff that you would need in there. You just have to buy the fertilizer itself. Harvesting, it'll give you the harvester. It'll give you a tractor to haul the trailer, all that kind of stuff. So anything like that is very useful. That's actually a really nice harvesting contract. $8,500 for barley. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But yeah, contracts are a great way to kind of get into things. Did you really not start up yet? Oh, because you weren't unfolded. Come on. Lower the pickup. And automatic drops turned on. Let me reset the counter again because I'm just kind of curious. I mean, good tractors are, I mean, it's just whatever you like. I mean, an important thing to kind of look at a little bit is the horsepower of a tractor. So, for example, this tiny little Zetor right here, 75 horsepower, and there is no engine additions to it. So, if you were trying to run this with, for example, the baler I'm running right now, it would probably technically run, but it would go extremely slowly. Whereas if you were to bump up to one that has a little bit closer horsepower, then that definitely makes a difference. So you don't have to like go for like the large tractors all the time, right? Yeah, the large tractors are awesome, and they can obviously run all the equipment because they just have plenty of horsepower. But you know, sometimes a small tractor is plenty. You know, you can get by with a small tractor for most things as long as you look at that horsepower number. This is actually one of my favorite tractors. Right, this little 100 horsepower little dude. It actually gets the job done for a lot of things. But if you look at like a baler, for example, you can see what the horsepower requirement is. For this one, it's only 50 horsepower. Okay, so that little tiny Zetor would be fine for this, although this makes tiny, tiny, tiny bales. Something a little bit bigger, like this one, is 100 horsepower. Honestly, that 75 horsepower Zetor probably would run the 100 horsepower. Usually, if you're close, it'll run it just fine. Like, you don't have to be exact or over. You can be close. Now, 75 to 100 is probably a little bit... That's probably very tight window. If it was like 90 to 100, I would probably say a 90 horsepower tractor is perfectly fine for a 100 horsepower baler. But that's kind of the idea. Just whatever equipment you're going to use, check out the horsepower, see how much it needs, and then kind of get something that fits that. You don't have to go too crazy with it. And the other good thing is if you're buying your tractors, let's say I bought one that has, okay, this one right here. I mean, this is a bad example. I don't like that tractor. Okay, this one right here, maybe, for example. Let's say I bought it, and initially I only need 75 horsepower. So I just buy it for 75 horsepower. And then later on, I realized, oh, I need a little bit more power. Well, instead of buying a new tractor, you can add it. If you bought it, you can actually take it back to the store and modify it. Pay the difference, basically. It's what, a $10,000 difference? All you have to pay is the difference, and you can bump it up to, you know, whatever horsepower, the higher horsepower that you need. So tractors that have a variable range of horsepower are also really nice because you can buy the cheaper one now and then pay for the better engine later or other bits and bobs on it when you have more money. What's the good news, Stormy? Is it something to do with the production facilities? Have you tested it? Okay, good. I didn't think it was, but after the greenhouses, we were, I think, like you, we were both kind of panicking for a moment. It was like, wait a minute, have we been wrong the entire time? That's good to know. I did think it was that case. I guess one of the bad things about having the pile this high is that technically I don't quite finish the previous build when I'm ready to like move up for the next one. So I get this little awkward situation where I'm like, I went a little bit too slow or too fast, and I'm not quite in a spot where I can like back up. I will stop at 10 o'clock my time, which is in 39 minutes. So I stream for 3 hours. I started at 7 o'clock my time. I live in the Mountain Standard Time Zone, which I guess if you're in North Carolina, you are most likely Eastern, I'm assuming. So I will stop for you at midnight. still really want to try these other balers. I know I say it every time I look at them, but I want to try one of those. You set on the side, I guess. I'm assuming that's how they work. I just have no idea. I've been resisting the urge to go look it up and see what somebody else does because I kind of just want to figure it out myself. But they're not cheap, so I don't have the money to try it out myself. Someday. Someday we'll get there. It'd be cool if one of those popped up in the used equipment, though. I could try it on a discount. Yeah, this line is a little bit big. I'm still having trouble kind of getting the entirety of it all. I mean, it's fine if we miss some, because obviously we'll just collect anything we missed the next time we mow. I felt like a single mow was not big enough. A double mow seems almost too big. We are getting a lot of bales off this field. Quick baler. Haven't seen that one yet. Personally want, like I said, there's these on the end. I already talked about those already. Very expensive, but I want one that does. Didn't I find one the other day, or maybe I made it up? I think I made it up. Yeah, there's plenty of square balers that don't do silage. I want a square baler that does silage, and I think that's yeah. These don't do silage, right? But I would love to have one of those because you can just continuously run, right? You could just you go nonstop. Yeah, I don't think there's any other options for that. But there is an option. I could do that, and then I could just do a bale wrapper that does square bales, right? And just wrap the square bales instead. That would be an option. Is that faster than having to stop every few feet? I don't know. That's actually a interesting question. Probably not faster, but because you have to do 2 different passes. But it is so convenient to be able to just go nonstop. I think letting a series go longer to be able to test and play the humongous in-game equipment is fun. Yeah, no, you're right about, that one got a bit lengthy and took forever to get to the chocolate. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. It's challenging. There's a fine line between, and we're doing it right now, literally right now. There's a fine line between doing what's going to make the most money the most efficiently, which is also just very boring, which is just grass literally nonstop. Like, I could literally do grass for the next 10 live streams and then have all the money we would need for our entire farm, but there's that's not, I will not be happy with that. I want to get over to actual real crops as soon as humanly possible. I did a very bad job making that corner. In fact, I already feel like we've gone too far on the grass, to be perfectly honest. I mean, we've bought some things. We've expanded our fields. It's not like we're staying still, but I want to get off the grass as soon as humanly possible. In fact, as soon as I can afford a chicken coop with all the chickens, there's a good chance that I will switch one of my fields over to grains for that at least. I mean, if you're... all stars. Okay, I shouldn't... No, that's funny. That's okay to laugh at. That's just funny. I'm gonna get my stream demonetized because I'm talking about quitting the grass. That's I gotta be careful, don't I? Silage additive tanks would make things a lot better too, right? That's just an easy, what is it, 5%? Just free extra money, quite frankly. So, yeah, anything that has a silage additive tank is good. That's part of the reason why I like the forage wagons sometimes, because the forage wagons just have them automatically. But I know that some of the balers do too, right? We've seen that. I know these don't, right? But... what we looked at it the other day, and I forget which ones we saw that had them. I think it was any of these. Was it just the blue ones that we saw? No, it's this one as well, Crone, which is a square baler, but it does have a silage additive tank available, which is interesting, right? It's interesting that this does not do silage by itself, but it has a silage additive tank. So I guess once you wrap it, it has the silage. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know, because obviously the initial wrapping of that would just be grass. But I think, was it this one? This one has a silage additive tank. Yep. That one does as well. And that's round bales. And then both of these do, right? Yep. Yep. I really want to try, I really want to try these. I just don't know what they do. Pretty sure silage additive just gives you more money. Well, like more, it gives you more yield. So, which in my brain, I equate more yield to more money, right? It's under here. Increase your yield. With silage additives, you can increase your yield. So, and I think it's 5%. Which isn't a lot, but it's still something, right? I mean, if I'm going to make $60,000 off of a field, then I suddenly make, $63,000. It's not a lot, but it adds up over time. For something that's not very expensive to add on. It might be more than 5%. I think it's 5%. I just don't remember the exact number. Actually, does it have any help information by any chance? Probably not. There's not a lot of information that helps stuff. It mentions it under silage or under yield boosts. I don't know if it mentions it anywhere else. When using bond silage in your forage wagon while collecting grass or in your harvester when cutting, the yield is increased by 5% right there. So, yep, it's a 5% boost. Reminds you of the duck. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I sometimes say off-color things because that's just the way my brain sometimes works. I mean, I try not to say things that are, like, grossly inappropriate. More kind of slightly off kilter, like off, I don't know. I've said it before. I have to be careful with what I say because most people don't know me that are watching my YouTube channels. But if you know me, you know that I'm obviously joking about certain things. I would never duct tape my kids. Benadryl, yes. Not the duct tape, though. That is also a joke. Sorry, I gotta stop. I mean, I could be like, I would never duct tape my kids. That's what the giant, you know, Great Dane-sized dog kennel is for. But that is also a joke. I do have a Great Dane-sized dog kennel. But that's because I have a Great Dane. So, and my kids do like to get inside the dog kennel on their own free will, by the way. They think it's funny. I do not ever put my kids in a cage. That's not how that works. That is not something I personally would ever do. But it's funny when they do it, I guess. They think it's cute. What day do I go live? For Farming Simulator, I'm live on Wednesdays. So every Wednesday I do Farming Simulator. But I also go live on Mondays for Football Manager and Saturdays for Civilization currently. Although the Civilization one could turn into something else at some point. Yeah, that's just kind of where it is right now. So 3 days a week right now. But that's also because I still do lots. I also upload 3 videos every day except Sundays. So I still do a lot of off stream recordings on a regular basis. I should stop digging this hole. I probably should. It's just funny to me. If I can't be me, then whatever. I guess if I get in trouble for being me, then I guess I get in trouble for being me. I actually have 3 dogs. I have a Great Dane, I have a Siberian Husky, and I have an Alaskan Malamute. The Siberian Husky and the Alaskan Malamute love the weather here in Colorado. They love it when it snows. It's their favorite time of the year. Obviously, the Great Dane enjoys it a little bit less, although he still enjoys going out and playing with the other 2 dogs. He does do that. So he doesn't like act like the snow bothers him that much because he just enjoys being out there with the other 2 dogs and just playing around. But we don't usually keep him outside very long when it's snowing, whereas the other 2 could literally be outside. They could probably be outside for 3 days and not even, it wouldn't bother them at all. Like their coats are so thick they could live through all anything. Now, we do not keep our dogs outside beyond just letting them play. Well, they're all house dogs, but when it's fun, when it's nice out, they like to go out and play a lot. So usually let them play a little bit more often. What days? I do FS22 on the stream. I do it again on Wednesdays. But currently I'm uploading an FS22 video every single day. I have 2 different series going. One goes out on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The other one goes out on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So there's lots of Farming Simulator content on the channel for you to enjoy, as well as some historical series that there's some value there for sure. my most popular series is my original Elmcreek series that has a lot of views. Yeah. I'm laughing because I'm not trying to. That's the kind of joke that I would say, but I probably should not say that out loud. I should not repeat what you just said. Not that it's bad, it's just funny. And I love it. Hey, when I grew up, I was forced to be outside when I grew up. My kids never go outside. They spend all their time on their cell phones and tablets and Xboxes and whatever else they have. Thankfully, my kids are also good students and they do good in school. And they also do extracurricular things like bands and other things like that. So I'm not super bothered by the fact that they like to play video games and stuff a lot. I'm not as bothered by screen time as most people probably are. Because, well, for one, I enjoy screen time as well, obviously. I'm sitting here with you guys. But also because they are very well-rounded in other ways. So if they weren't well-rounded, I'd be a little more concerned. But as long as they do other things and whatnot, then I'm okay with it. That being said, if you are the type of parent who does not like that much screen time for your kids, I mean, more power to you. That does not bother me either. I mean, you parent your kids however you need to parent them. I think each kid's different, and I would say there's no right or wrong. I mean, there's obviously wrong ways to raise kids. I think we can all agree there's definitely wrong ways to raise kids. But in the context of you're not doing something borderline illegal with your kid, like you're not hurting your children, like you're not doing something grossly, like morally wrong, I would say there's lots of different ways to raise kids that are all varying levels of okay. All right, that's that. How many did we get? Oh, I should have checked that. Let me hook back up because I'm actually kind of curious now. $41. Pretty good number, actually. My kids are quite spoiled, actually. I think I mentioned that in the same breath that I talked about the duct tape joke, is that I actually do spoil my kids. and I don't like, I think spoil is probably a little bit of a strong word. I wouldn't say I spoil them because I think that could be bad in the long run. I don't want my kids to ever feel like they're entitled to things. But as long as they are, getting good grades and, doing their chores and anything else, we feel like that teaches them responsibility, I don't mind giving them much nicer things than I ever had growing up. Like I had, one game system at a time that I probably had to save up my Christmas money to buy, partly because my family just didn't make a lot of money, which is fine. But, I definitely am more well off now than my parents were. So provided my kids are doing all of the things that we ask of them, then I have no problem buying them a, Xbox and a game, a Switch and whatever else that they, might want, within reason. What is my favorite Funko Pop? That's a good question. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know that I have a favorite. I like them all. I have some Marvel ones and I have some Star Wars ones. The only reason I even have all those Funko Pops is because there was a period of time. I think they still do it for Marvel, but Amazon has a subscription box that you can subscribe to, and every month they just send you a Funko. I think they send you 2 Funko Pops, a T-shirt, like a little pin or something like that, some stickers, like all sorts of little things related to whatever it is you chose. So I had one for Marvel and one for Star Wars for a long time. I think they discontinued the Star Wars ones, Or at least they did at one point, and so I don't have those coming anymore, but I still have the Marvel ones coming in regularly. Stream time isn't the issue, it's more what's on the screen. That is a very good point, Stormy. It is more about what's on the screen than the fact that they're on, than the fact that they're using the screen. I would agree with you there. Social media, my kids do not have access to social media, I'll be honest. They don't have access to TikTok, they don't have access to like the Facebook or anything. Like, they don't have access to that kind of stuff. I mean, as they're getting older, I'm giving them more access, but initially they just don't have access to that kind of stuff. I think at younger ages there's more bad than good from social media. That's not to say all social media is bad. Social media has its value, but I think when you're at a younger age, honestly even at an older age, quite frankly, I think an adult can have problems with social media. But hopefully you get to a point where you learn to balance, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to get too much into detail, but I think you guys kind of know where I'm going with it as far as just... There are plenty of amazingly good things online, no matter what medium it is, but there's also lots of garbage out there. Do I play with viewers? I don't currently play with viewers. I will... I might consider it at some point, but not currently. Mostly because up until recently, I was not even streaming. I've only started streaming recently, over the last few weeks. For a while there, I only did offline recordings, which obviously that's not very conducive to playing with viewers in that kind of context. I do, like my older kids, I do let them like watch YouTube and stuff like that now, but within like a little bit of a, like I still kind of restrict a little bit of what they're able to see. Just to try to protect them from them. Honestly, I'm protecting them from themselves. Because quite frankly, I didn't have those types of protections when I was growing up. And I wish I could unsee some of the things I saw growing up. I really do. Like, internet was just becoming a bit of a thing when I was growing up. And I delved into the darker areas of the internet way sooner than I should have. Because I didn't understand it. I was too young. So I think allowing those types of protections is a good thing. Until you get old enough to make those decisions for yourself. Parenting these days is different, right? Like, I mean, I don't know if you guys are parents. Parenting it's got its unique challenges that we just didn't have to deal with, that my parents didn't have to deal with. And obviously my parents dealt with things that their parents didn't have to deal with. Every generation has its new sets of challenges that you just like, there's not a book for this. Like, you know, I mean, there probably is a book for it, but you know, but my point being, like, everybody jokes about how when you have kids, like, there's not an instruction manual for how to raise your kids, and every generation we add some new challenge to parenting. It's like, now what do we do? Just remember, there's 41 bales. We're going to have one bale left over after I finish this trailer. That's annoying. Well, very early in the next stream, we will be selling all of these bales of silage. That'll get us, honestly, a pretty significant amount of money. This is much bigger total harvest with all the combined fields than we did last time, right? So this is going to be worth a lot of money to us. And there's still more grass to go, right? Like, I still have to mow this at least one more time, mow the other field one more time, get all that baled up. We're going to have it's going to be a lot of money. This might end grass for us, which would be an amazingly good thing. If we can finish grass at the beginning of next stream and move on to some actual crops, that I would be very happy with that. Now, I think, like I said before, I may continue to do grass on this one field, like this field right here, 45, 46. But that's not going to be that bad. Like the one field worth of grass is not the end of the world. That should not be too painful. But then we can do some like actual crops on the other fields. I'm actually going to count these up. I'm kind of curious how many we got here. Plus, I know that, like I said, we're going to have at least probably double what we have here once we do another set of mowing on that other field and one set here. I think that's going to be almost double the total yield. And this is all without having lime down. Once we can get lime down, we're going to get even, you know, it's not a lot more, but it's still more. All right, so we got 41 here. And we have how many over here? We have like 20 something, 30 something? We have 33, so 74? 74 times 2, that's 148. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, we're going to need a better trailer. 148 with that dinky little trailer is going to be 15 trips. 148 bells is my estimation. I think it's going to be around about there. Okay. I actually want to do the math on this real quick because that's going to be a lot of money. $148. I should be able to do this in my head, but just because doing math in public is dangerous. Times 5,500 liters per. 814,000 liters. We're not far off from 1 million liters. That is insane. 814,000 liters, obviously, divided by 1,000 times, what was it, like 900 or something? No, it's not 900. It's I'm thinking something else, I think. 200. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say 900 is what I've been doing for my baby food stuff, I think. Times 200. It's 162,000 bucks. $162,000 is a very good amount of money that I think... How much is the chicken coop? I think that gets us a chicken coop full of chickens, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Because I'd want to get the big one. I mean, I'm not going to put this down right now, but I would want to get this big one. Because that holds up 360 chickens, which is a really good amount of eggs. We can put that wherever. And yeah, that'll be good for us. Get that rolling in. Eggs would be a good... Eggs are very, very profitable. The amount of grain you put in versus the amount of eggs you get out is a pretty good boost. Yeah, you're right. I could have done that. Roughly 1,000 per bale. That's an easy way to have done that. Thank you. Thank you for simplifying that math for me that I just didn't do in my brain. Actually, I want to do the math here. Yes. Valley Spring, I'm not going to lie. Here's the thing with Valley Spring is that it has gone on longer than I meant for it to, in the sense of that we haven't gotten our field yet. But I'm also stubborn, and I want to finish it. I don't want to like just give up and just cheat in or whatever. I'm gonna stay the course and get it done, and continue moving forward with it. But it's definitely overstayed its welcome as far as how long I've had to do grass and contracts and stuff like that for. I didn't think mathematically I didn't need to do it for that long. Maybe I should not have bought the tractor. Maybe if I just skipped the tractor and bought something else, but it's neither here nor there. We're close to the point where we can buy a field. Finally, we really are. It's just it definitely went longer than I meant for it to. Oh, there's almost always a correction at the beginning. You're right. I definitely do a lot of corrections on various math for various reasons, but I think this math is sound. I'm pretty sure we are going to get about twice as many. We're going to get another set of bales about this many between the two fields, and like you said, it's about $1,000 per bale. So I think that math is actually pretty sound. Well, I appreciate that, Stormy. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. there is definitely, yeah, there's definitely some more new stuff coming soon. You'll get to that episode soon enough. But we're almost to the field. Almost there. The used store always gets me. You are 100% right. And there is an episode coming very soon. It's a possibility the used store got me again. I'm just gonna spoiler. I should have put a spoiler alert warning, but there's a chance the used store got me one more time. I'll leave it at that. Anyway, wait, that wasn't the episode for today, was it? I actually don't remember. If it was the episode for today, then you already know. But if it wasn't the episode for today, then yes, the used store might get me one more time. Okay, well, honestly, we're almost at the end. I mean, we got 8 minutes left. What do I want to do in the next 8 minutes? I guess I could just fast forward and we can at least get a little bit more mode. Yeah, that's fine. Let's just fast forward and get some more stuff mode. We'll do as much as we can in the next 8 minutes. I just don't want to get too far into something that we can't finish just yet. I just looked down at my phone and I see a notification that says Stormy. And I'm like, huh, that's funny. There's a person named Stormy talking to me right now. And then I'm like, oh, it's the email you sent me earlier. I'll be all right, guys. Sometimes I'm crazy. Actually, I'm always crazy. Anyway, how are we looking on water? I just skipped it because I'm thinking and doing it at the same time. We're doing okay on water. We got a little bit more time. I kind of want this one to run out so I can see if filling up that one thing will be enough. It's weird and confusing, the water sometimes with that extra stuff. We'll figure it all out. Fertilizing. I want to fertilize the grass again. Man, my tractor is dirty. You want to see some testing? Like off, what do you mean by testing? Is it the Krone mower? It is not the Krone. Oh, no, it is not the Krone mower. Oh, I love that thing. I absolutely love the Krone mower. And yes, if the Krone mower came up in the used thing, I would figure out how to get it. Truth be told, I would probably sell the tractor and anything else I could sell just to get the Krone mower. But that would be silly because obviously how would I bail? But as you guys know, I love the Krone mower. It is one of my favorite pieces of equipment in the entire game. Oh, you want to see some more testing like the greenhouse and stuff? Yeah, I mean that's truth be told, but I'm tempted to. Oh, that's a pretty decent tractor. Stop looking at the used lot. Sorry, I got distracted. I looked at the used lot again, guys. I apologize. I can't help it. It's there. What is that though? Is that for the lumber stuff? Yep. I'm assuming, right? That's a load or unload trees. Yep. Actually, here's an interesting question that I could do some math on. Would it mathematically be better for me to sell some of the silage now at a lower price so that I can get the lime to put on the fields so that when I sell the rest of the silage later, it is worth more? Probably not quite mathematically worth it, but it's tempting. Because I think between the extra value from the yield that we get for putting lime down, as well as the extra precision farming that we would get, I think it's at least 10% more money that we're losing out on by not having lime down. So if it's within 10% of the max, yeah, then maybe it is worth it. Yeah, I mean, I know there's mods that let you make your own lime, but I don't have any of those mods downloaded right now. But just because I'm curious now, how much is the lime selling for? Or the lime, sorry, the silage selling for? See, it's like, it's way less. It's like 25% less than the max. So I think that's too far off of where I want it to be. When would we expect it to be closer? We're in what, August right now? August is actually one of the worst months. Like if we got closer to November, it might be worth selling, but even by then though, we wouldn't be harvesting anymore anyway. So I think we just hold off on the lime one more cycle. Wait till we get everything sold off. As much, and I do want to get the chicken stuff, but I also I need the lime for everything. Any crop that we do is going to need the lime. So I just need to get the lime. That's basically my next purchase because it's important. Oh, that's right. Last stream, I realized that I could pull both trailers at the same time. So I could pull a few extra bales with me, make it a little bit quicker. What was it, like 10 on one and 4 on the other, so I could pull 14? That's not bad. Yeah, there's a lime thing here on the map. Yeah, I know that. And there's a crusher. Yes, I know about the crusher as well, but the crusher doesn't produce lime. Not by default. There's a mod that you can let the crusher produce lime, but by default, the crusher does not produce lime. Unless they've changed that, which pretty sure they have not. Actually, the idea of turning stones into lime is a pretty good idea. I think that's actually, there's a few like mods like that I'm like, okay, that's a little gamey. But honestly, that one feels, I don't know how realistic it is, but it feels realistic to me. It seems like, yeah, crush the stones up and, I mean, obviously, lime does not come from just your generic stone. I'm assuming lime comes from limestone. Maybe I'm wrong. But, so maybe it's not exactly the same. But I suppose in a world that we live in, where a seed bag can turn into any crop, then any stone can turn into lime. I think that's a fair world that we live in the context of Farming Simulator. I'm actually going to get the worker running this, and I will do my outro. I'll probably just let the worker finish this, even if I stop this. I'll just talk to you guys while it's doing this. Why not? Let the stream run for a couple minutes. You still have to dig up the stone and load it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and obviously I have fieldstone turned off right now. I personally have not been a fan of the fieldstone mechanic in general. I mean, I get that it's basically there's a level of realism there for sure, and I understand that. But to some degree, I just think the fieldstone's not I don't know. It's not a very fun mechanic to me. I don't mind plowing, like I said before, and I don't mind doing some of those other things, but the fieldstones just feels a little bit, just one step too tedious for me. But yeah, basically the stream's about to end. I'm just kind of getting this finished up, so I know where we had a stopping point. Like I said, I might just cut the stream off, let this guy finish it on his own. Does this feel still? Oh, this feels still good. Stop. You don't have. I mean, he's not spraying here, so we're not wasting money, but he is wasting time. Get that finished up. I'm trying to figure out the best way to to test these out. Like, we're just not, in both the Valley Spring and in this run, we're just not at the money level where it feels like it makes sense logically. So I'm like, when do I can make a special thing just to test them out, I suppose. There's always that option. Maybe I'll just make a standalone video, just try these things out at some point. I don't know. I need to think about that one. Oh, are you really going to skip the header? We'll get there someday. Oh, appreciate that, Stormy. There's a good chance I might take you up on that. I really appreciate the offer. But yeah, see you next week. Like I said, I'm about to finish this up, wrap it up. So if you're sticking around until I hit the actual end button, all I'm doing is just going to finish up fertilizing this, so you're not going to miss much. Thanks, number one dad. I appreciate it as well. Although I don't like your name, number one dad, because I'm pretty sure I'm the number one dad. Just saying. Just kidding. Not if I keep talking about duct tape. Anyway. Sorry. Oh. I appreciate that. Thanks, kid. That's No, I'm sure you're a pretty good dad. That's awesome. I'm assuming you are a dad. Otherwise, I guess the name could be ironic, but I'm assuming you are actually a dad, which is good. That's awesome. Yes, we are all number one dad. Well, maybe not all. You know, there's some people that have trouble being dads, unfortunately. That's just the world we live in. But anybody who is willing to accept the name number one dad is probably a pretty good dad. I'll give you that. All right, we're almost done with this pass. That is going to be it. I appreciate everybody that came out and joined and contributed. We learned some stuff about the greenhouses. I was like, I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about. And then I'm like, wait a minute, maybe I'm very wrong. And then I'm like, oh, no, it does work that way. And then we had a panic moment about production. So we learned some stuff, which is good. Hopefully we learn more stuff going forward. But I do appreciate everybody that came out. And like I said, next stream for this will be on Wednesday. If you can just stop by and say hi on Monday, I'd appreciate that as well. Because again, it's my birthday. I might as well abuse that. But if you can't come by Monday, you can say happy birthday on Wednesday, and I'll appreciate that as well. So thank you again for everybody that came out. We'll continue this next time. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Goodbye.